Yeah, January 31st, 2014. Um, I guess a little bit of, or a few updates, what's going on in the world. Real interesting, not to get off the subject of current events, but the past couple of days people have been posting online about melting the snow. And I tried it. I tried the experiment on it. And when I first did it, I took a regular lighter that you use to light a fireplace with, and it wouldn't, the snow wouldn't melt. It kind of just turned black, smelled, had a kind of a plastic smell to it. Now, my thoughts were on it was that maybe it's the immediate heat hitting the snow, you know, removing all the moisture immediately, and it wouldn't produce any water. I mean, that was my thoughts compared to boiling it, putting it in a microwave, or letting it melt in room temps. Because if you do that, you will get water from it, but it doesn't really look too much like water. I mean, it's got a watery substance to it, but it's disgusting looking. And I know that we're being chemtrailed to death, and I truly believe that they're poisoning the skies, and they're using this to modify the weather. I'm sorry, and then also, I believe they're also doing it to keep us from viewing what's around our Earth and the atmosphere. Does a couple of things, and I guess one other thing: it poisons people, makes you sick. And there's a lot of people right now that are sick and can't figure out why. It seems to be getting worse. So, anyway, my thoughts on this snow melting, or trying to melt it with fire. I'm still out on it. I don't know. When I was a boy, I never just grabbed a cigarette lighter and tried to melt snow. This is before they started chemtrailing. So I don't know if it has something to do with the chemicals in the lighter or what. Now I did try using a match, a regular match, and it did the same thing. I did not try using a piece of wood that does not have any chemicals in it with fire and trying to melt it. I haven't done that experiment yet. If it doesn't do it with that, then I'm really, struck on what's really, what's the reason behind it, I guess. So anyway, I'm going to play around with it more. I'd like to take some of the water from the snow, take it in, have it tested, and see what's in it. I think that would also be a good way to figure out what's in this snow. So anyway, I'll keep you guys posted. I'm going to try to see if I can take a sample of this and take it to the county building, health department, have it tested. So the other thing is let's look at our president in his big speech the other night. Let's just sum it up. He can't wait to do executive orders. That's what he wants to do. I mean, he's getting at his second term, towards the middle part of his second term here. I mean, what does it matter to him how he runs this country? He's not going to get reelected, not unless he kills the election process, and I wouldn't put it past him. But right now, it's he doesn't have anything to lose by destroying this country the rest of the way. So I think that these executive orders are going to take up and pick up speed, especially on gun rights, your health, your mental, your mental health part. Because if they can get you on the mental health part, they can get you on so many other areas of your life: financial, your first, second, third, Fourth Amendment rights. They want to shut this this country down. They want to make sure that you're a zombie. They want to make sure you're like a robot, a slave to them. And they know this financial collapse is beginning. They can't keep it up. They can only do so many smoke and mirror props, And then one of these days, the chickens are going to come home. They're going to roost. And he's not going to be able to fake this anymore. Unemployment's not 7%. It's more like 30%. I laugh when I hear these news stations talk about the unemployment in the United States, and they're using 6 and 7%. Folks, it was 6 and 7% before 2008, when people were, 2005, 2006. 3 to or 4 to 7% back then they were using those numbers. Now, everybody I'm talking to that are young, that are getting out of college, they can't find work. People that were on unemployment are done, that went through all their extensions. They still can't find work. Now I'm self-employed and we're working, but we're not like near what we were back in 2006 and 7. So I don't buy it for 2 minutes. The other thing is something else weird that's going on. It's a third top banker this week that's committed suicide. J.P. Morgan, his exec, took a step off a 33rd story tall building, plunged to his death. One guy, I forget what bank he was with, hung himself, and then another guy jumped off a bridge out in the Seattle, Washington area. So, something's going on. Something similar to like this happened during the Great Depression. We haven't had our Great Depression yet, so why are people killing themselves, especially in the banking industry? Now, it could be a fluke. It could be just, things going threes. I've seen this a lot of times in my life, but my gut tells me no. So we're going to have to kind of keep an eye out. Stock market started falling pretty good last week, and now they're coming out, saying that our numbers are bad. The workforce is still not finding work. More companies getting ready to lay off. Companies not meeting their expectations on profits. So dollar went up for a little bit. Now it's starting to plummet. I've noticed gold starting to go back up. Commodities, oil, and propane was the biggie this month, and still is right now. Got up to where retail it was $6 a gallon, and that was basically, I think, just a smoke and mirror thing there again, claiming it was a shortage when it was really just people wanting to gouge you and control you. It's starting to go down, but it's still very, very high, and it's really hurt a lot of people. A lot of people can't afford to put 200 gallons of propane in their tank, and it's costing them $1,200. So, that's not good. I've noticed another thing, it's really high. Take a walk through like a Kroger or something and take a look at your beef prices. Ground beef, lean ground beef was almost $8 a pound where I'm from. And then the junk stuff that they sell is almost $4 a pound. There's not one thing you can walk through the grocery store anymore unless it costs you $5 to $8. I'll give you an illustration. A package of Kit Kat bars, 3 of them, $8. Now, folks, all this stuff's going up. Gas, your utilities, your taxes, everything's going up. They're squeezing the life out of you. And that's how Satan gets you. That's how this evil Illuminati government's going to get people. It's not all happening right at once super fast. They do it over a gradual period of time, and then they suck you into their trap. It's like the old, frog in boiling water. You stick him in there when it's cold, and you turn on the heat, and before you know it, he's boiled to death and dead. The same thing they're doing to the people of the United States. They're sucking the life force from all of us. And that's why they got to get these guns out of people's hands. They have to get these guns out of people's hands because they know this collapse. They can't keep it up. They can't keep up this fake economy. You can only do that so long. You can only lie so long before the truth shows up. And the truth showing up in your food prices, your gas prices, you're unemployed, companies laying off, companies going to, moving away from the United States, going to other countries, your big ones. So all this is going on. It's been going on since 2008. We've never recovered from 2008. When the Fed came in and started stimulating the economy, that's the beginning. We really died back then because all it did was just buy us some time. Well, we're about out of time. Maybe that's why these bankers are jumping out of buildings, jumping off bridges, hanging themselves. Maybe that's why in Obama's big speech he wanted to bring up executive orders, because he knows Congress is not going to support him on some of this, and he's going to get his little ink pen out and start doing his executive orders and martial law, laws that he's going to kick in. So 2014 is going to be a fun year to watch. And I don't mean that by being silly. It's not going to really be fun. You people that are awake know what I'm talking about. All these events are coming to a head. All these things. Nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, pestilence, disease, all these things in Matthew 24, Luke 21, Mark 13 talk about. And in the book of Revelation. And then in the Super Bowl. You guys watch the Super Bowl in halftime and can't wait to see the new satanic music video that'll come out that day and the message that the Illuminati want us all to see and watch. Just like the Grammy Awards, most of it was satanic. And that's why God, when His judgment hits this country and hits this earth, people that sat back and did nothing and watched this stuff, and didn't take heed to His warnings about nations that do this. That's why you want to read the Old Testaments, especially in the Bible. It's a history of what happens to nations when they forget God. All the way from a nation that was blessed by God and how they had peace and prosperity into a land, and then they lost it over a period of time when they worshipped idols and went into satanic rituals and forgot God. And what happened to them? Same thing that's going to happen in this country. And it's going to be soon. So don't think it's going to be years from now. God, this is reaching heaven. And I'm sure God's sickened from it. So anyway, it's January 31st, last day of the month. Looks like we've got a big storm coming. And also, Britain's getting ready to get hit with a storm that's called the Armageddon storm, and with 150 mile an hour winds. So pray for those folks. Anyway, you guys have a great day.